And we're live.
We are live.
Hi, welcome to
Yes.
this session. Yes, welcome to this session of Soul Talk. And our guest for today is NOEL LAURELLA. Noel is a committed and focused on blending local Canadian and international corporate experience in brand management, trade marketing, and account management. Spearheading key pioneers startup businesses or projects through creative, innovative, and out-of-the-box thinking and execution. Passionate about continuous learning for marketing and entrepreneurship, he co-founded Project Happy Hands. So it's a weekend passion program, a weekend passion project, a distribution and brand activation company servicing close to 3,000 Filipino-Canadian convenience
Yes.
stores across Canada. So Noel is right now in Canada, so that's why we're doing the Soul Talk at 9 a.m. It's already 9 p.m. in his time zone. So,
Right.
kamusta, Noel? Anything good that happened today?
I'm all good, Shell. Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me. Yeah, every day is always a good day. So it's not really a big difference compared to the other days. How about you? How are you?
It's morning.
It's morning. Yeah.
Yes, parang I need my brain to function well pa. Pero okay lang kasi I love doing these conversations and talking
Yeah.
about things that I really love. Even if it's early morning and then my brain is not yet fully functional. Pero okay lang,
Mm-hmm.
di ba? It's all good. Okay, ano ah, meron na ba tayong view?
Yes.
I have to take a look
Good.
at the kasi,
Yeah. I'm seeing like
ayan,
5 viewers. Hi to all the
yes.
5 viewers of highly favored and financially blessed group. I love
Yes,
to be in this group.
I'm also seeing five.
Hmm.
Kasi iba
Yeah.
kasi pag sa Zoom, hindi nakikita kung ilan na yung nanonood or ilan na yung ano. So, I have to simultaneously look from one screen to the other. But, sige, let's talk about kasi marketing and he is a relationship builder. Now, let's talk about that. What are the things that you are doing right now that keeps you busy?
Yes. Sure. So,
No,
yeah, am I good now, Shell?
my question, baka naputol
No,
lang.
no, no. I got it. I got it. You asked me just to have it clear as well. You're asking me like what keeps me busy right now. Is that correct?
Yes, what keeps you busy right now? And how's the quarantine in Canada?
Yeah. So quarantine right now in Canada is really doing well. The numbers are getting low. So hopefully we want this to be consistent. So sana no, it would just be good. Although a lot of us are expecting for the second wave, but we are preparing as well to be like always ready for the second wave. So what keeps me busy? So for the past years, I have worked in the corporate world for like 15 years. So that's mix of sales and marketing. More than 50% actually I spent with sales. So that's why I was able to learn and I was able to kind of get the secret ingredient when it comes to relationship building. So currently, just like all, I think the people who are currently experiencing the quarantine, we are pivoting, right? Like we're trying to be much more flexible on the ways that we do stuff. So I have been mentoring immigrants in Canada when I first arrived here. And during the quarantine, I thought as well that I want to extend this to not just immigrants, but also to solopreneurs, professional service providers, as well as small and medium-sized business owners, so that I can provide them, or I can help them sustain their sales, and as well as create impactful marketing programs through using relationship building. So that's what keeps me busy.
Oh, actually, I love that you're using your skills and talents to really expand your reach and to be of service. How were you able to come about that level of mastery? For 'di ba 15 years ka naman nasa sales and marketing, but I am
Yeah.
sure when you started you had a really different kind of consciousness back then.
For sure. So when I so when I think if I go back to my experience when I first started with sales, so I think just to add context with that, my first job was a pharmaceutical representative. So it's not an easy job. In fact, you have to be mature with that kind of job because you have to deal with people who are like physicians. They are well trained with their like field, and you have to talk as well the same language as them. So coming from a non-medical background, it was not really like a walk in the park for me. In fact, I had encountered failure when I first started with work. So I felt I was not really a good cut for sales. So after 2 months of working and having like 3 or 4 times higher salary compared to those of my batchmates who also graduated at the same year. Unfortunately, I resigned after 2 months because I did not really know how to manage relationships. Like,
Must be
yeah,
really stressful kung 2 months pa lang gusto mo na umalis.
yes, like I was embarrassed because I visited physicians on their clinics. I don't know, although I had trainings on how to do it, but it's different. I felt really it feels a little bit strange because that's where I have realized that you need to also establish relationship not just to the customers but also to your coworkers. And it feels weird because that is something that is not being taught in the university. So I learned it the hard way actually.
Mhm. Actually, I know, I can also relate. Actually, I came from the banking industry and I've also been with sales and servicing. So I have friends here who are in sales, and it's
Yeah.
really important to have that shift or change of framing yung mindset that you're not merely selling. You're doing something noble. It's a privilege to build relationships, which you were able to touch on in your book. Could you
Yes.
tell us more about it? Kasi ang ganda rin ng shift na yun eh. You've shared your personal story inside the book and you've shared your learnings. And there was a major transformational shift that happened. And it was all blatantly shown
Mm,
in your book. Could you tell us more about that?
correct. Yeah. So very good. Thank you, Shell, for bringing that up. So the reason why I came up as well with the book during the pandemic, out of all the times, I thought of making it during the pandemic because I realized how how relationship is very important, especially I think if we don't live in the usual times. Um, and going back to the book, I made it a point as well to have it in a story like. It's a storybook actually about sales because for the past years, during when I worked as well, every time I open a book na sales, no, naaantok talaga ako. Nakakatulog talaga ako. But sales is a very intimidating topic, right? A lot of people fear sales or they feel awkward about it. But I thought na, why not come up with a book that is in a story form? I made it a point to have illustrations as well with it. So that's why when you look at the cover of the book, it will look like a children's book because I want people to actually I want to communicate straight to the heart of the people because like in the first place we're talking about relationship building and most of the time it will really touch emotions and in the book as well I've provided the secret ingredient on how you can really master sales, and I offered a different kind of perspective of looking at sales so that in a way you lessen as well the fear. And that's the concept of looking at sales in the perspective of nobility and looking at sales as a privilege that you have to nurture as well with, other human beings that you will encounter.
Actually, maganda. I-share ko nga yung ano.
Do you have the photo? I think that would be awesome.
I want to share the screen kasi maganda yung photo eh.
Yeah. So actually, while you're looking for that, so the title of the book is Tales from the Wise Willow, Relationship Building, a Different Perspective on Sales. So actually with that book, you'll be surprised that I've incorporated as well the Filipino tradition or culture, because I'm currently living in Canada and I'm proud of my roots as well. So in a way, if you support the book, you're supporting as well your kapwa Filipino. But the book itself would really touch on how important relationship building is, and what's the secret ingredient so that you don't have to fear sales anymore.
Ayan, we're sharing it na. So it's the viewers can actually see it. So there's this wise willow tree and
Yes.
and there's Noel.
Yeah.
Diba? Para
Yeah.
siyang children's it's like a children's storybook. And
Yes.
it's an easy read. It's an easy read talaga.
You've read it, right, Shell?
Yes, of course. Kaya nga sabi,
Perfect.
okay, let's talk about this. Kasi I've also seen how you were able to master your craft. It's simple lang naman eh, 'di ba? Yung consciousness or mentality of having that I'm a failure, this is embarrassing. And then you shifted. It became no, it's noble. This is a privilege. This is something that I can do to serve. And
Correct.
nakita doon eh. And it was truly profound. So because of the work that you have been doing for the past 15 years, you were able to gain this level of self-mastery. And you wouldn't have reached it if you were not self-aware. So how was the process of being more aware of yourself?
Correct. So it's good, Shell, that you brought that up, because actually, if I just stayed with sales and not being self-aware, I think I will not be able to discover the secret ingredient as well. But I think again, as what they said, like if the student is ready, the master or the teacher will appear. So actually, I think that's also very true with my personal case, because I've experienced as well doubting myself. As an immigrant itself, it's not really an easy path, because you uprooted yourself in your home country, and now you have to thrive in a new country. And for the past years, I had like issues about who I am, like insecurities of being a Filipino in a Western country. But I think through the help of meditation, self-awareness, and research about teachers that highly resonated as well with me, that really, I think, helped me have a different perspective and turn it around in a manner that, since I was able to learn from that, now it's my time to share that as well to people who might be on the same path as mine. So going back to your question, yes, it takes a lot of self-awareness. It also takes a lot of not being afraid of being vulnerable. And it takes time. You really have to be patient with yourself.
Oo, tama yun. Could you tell me what your personal practice is, if you don't mind, how to stay mindful,
Yeah.
and be aware of yourself? What are the practices that you do?
Sure. So I think I'm excited to share this as well, because this is actually very intimate practice of mine. So I've started to learn about meditation before, but long before, I did not really know the word that there is a meditation word, but I know that every like nighttime before, even if I was still in my university years, like I would really take time to review what happened like in the day. So I thought at this stage now, I was thinking that probably that was like my meditation practice. But as I grow older, it evolved. So right now, for example, I have my meditation practice in the morning right after I wake up. Like after I wake up, for example, I don't normally go to a meditation practice right away. I would stay like, sometimes pag you wake up, naaantok-antok ka pa. So that's the time that I would do gratefulness. Like I would tell myself, "Oh my God, Noel, you have a very soft pillow. So be grateful for that." I would also tell myself I'm grateful for the hands that I can still touch this pillow. Like I would also have like my room right now has a big window that the sunshine would like come in. I would also look at the window and I would tell myself, I really feel, very grateful for the sun rays today. So I took the time every morning not to get up right away, but to be grateful. But right after that, once I'm done with washroom, I would go back and do my 15 minutes meditation. So
Mm.
it's like the whole shebangs of process, but it's more of the breathing practice.
Yeah, saka ano rin eh, what's nice about doing the morning gratefulness upon waking up and then before you go to sleep, you actually review your day. It's
Yeah.
maintaining that higher vibration so that you wake
Yes.
up on a positive note and then you also go to sleep on a positive note. Kasi most likely naman meron ka nagawang maganda for the day, di ba?
Exactly. Yeah. So one of the big influence with my meditation practice was with I follow or I enrolled with this meditation practice before, and then for my high vibration um, like practice, I would go with Abraham Hicks and Theo. So they would remind me most of the time, how to maintain my high vibration. And Shell, I'm an empath as well. Like I can feel energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I make it a point. I really make it a point to clear my chakras.
Mm-hmm.
And one process is, cutting the cords. Because normally, like when I was not aware before, like if I go to the gym, even if people don't talk to me, like I can feel the density. That's why pagod na ako sa kaka-gym. After the gym, when I go home, mas lalo ako napagod because I can feel the energy. So
Mm-hmm.
so so I was able to meet this teacher of mine as well who taught me how to protect my energy and my chakra. So I do the cord cutting every morning and every night. So that really helped me as well.
Mm-mm. Actually, with protecting your energy, the most important thing is really to ensure that you have a healthy mental state, a healthy mental emotional state, and even your physical state has to be healthy so that you're 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 able to protect yourself from all kinds of energy. And I know it's not that easy to do, especially when you
Yeah.
get but with the practice of mindfulness wherein you always draw back into your para ka nag-exercise, you build up that muscle, you
The
build up
muscle
that
as
kind
well.
of you build up that kind of practice. So it's truly applicable not just in your able to practice that level of awareness and mindfulness. And he was able to shift from doubt, insecurities, failure, embarrassment. So nag-shift na, nagkaroon ng malaking transformation, and that made him who he is right now. And he was able to realize who he is and what he can bring into the world. So
Yeah.
it's a good practice. Some people would just think it's merely relaxation or pangtanggal ng stress, but it's more than that. Continuously do it. If you do it,
Yeah. Shell, so if I can also add
yeah.
something, um, so aside from that, are we good? Yeah,
Yeah.
so, Shell. So
Alright.
aside, yeah, you know what? Aside from that as well, I've come to a point now that I'm very particular with my thoughts and the words that I say, because like thoughts have vibrations as well. I think based on the reading that I had as well before, you only have like 7 seconds or like 15 seconds to shift or to change that thought, because if you let it stay for a number of seconds, that will actually like that will actually create an energy that will stay with you. So for example, if I have a negative thought, like right away I would tell myself, okay, shift it to Noel to a positive one, or think of something that feels good. Like for example, I'm so depressed, I'm so embarrassed about that happened. I would think of myself right away eating ice cream. So that actually would
Ice
give
cream.
a yeah, ice cream. Imagine, like, imagine for example, you think of yourself, oh, my favorite ice cream. That right away shifts my vibration. So that negative thought that's trying to enter my head would now be altered by a different kind of thought, which is me eating ice cream. The second one as well is I'm very particular now with the words that I say. Like I would avoid using not, I cannot. Instead I would shift that, or I will alter that in a way that I can, like I am, and add something positive on it.
Mm-mm. Parang ano talaga eh, it's the law of attraction in its you were able to and have power, your words have power to make sure that you have good thoughts and positive thoughts, not to negate all the realities around us,
Yeah.
but to ensure
Eh,
that we are vibrating at a higher positive level.
yeah. And you know what, Shell? I also, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Eh,
go
kasi
ahead.
mm.
Na-excite ako sa topic eh.
No,
Like
no,
every time I get
no,
excited. Yeah.
no. Having Noel as a guest because um, he's my classmate
Yeah.
in one of the programs that we took. And whenever we're in session, he would always, and not that I'm offended or threatened by the questions, but I was open to the questions because it allowed me to see a certain situation in different light. And it's good when two minds or more would meet, and you'd be able to see your that's why I love Noel. And he would quote a lot talaga from different authors, different
Yeah.
teachers. Ay, aral na aral ito at naaalala niya pa talaga yung mga names ng mga
Yeah.
tao. That
Yeah.
shows what kind of person Noel is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because again, I take seriously as well my learnings. Yeah, because I've seen the difference like before of myself than now. So that's why I think if I can do it, all the people can really do it, but it's just a matter of practice. But Shell, just to add as well earlier, I also have discovered that it's a coherence of everything. It's a coherence of the mind, of your mouth, and the words that you do. But you have to also remember that you should include your heart, because again, it's the law of attraction, right? People would thought that with the law of attraction you just have to think of something and it will be manifested, but actually you have to combine as well the words and the emotions with it, because sasabihin mo, or you will think, okay, yayaman talaga ako sa mind mo, pero what's deep inside your heart, parang sasabihin mo, oh my god, ang daming babayarin ngayon na parang gano'n. So it will not really come true, because there's no coherence on the three sides, on the things that you want to manifest.
Yes. No. Tama yun, yung sa alignment. When it comes to the law, misalign with your thoughts. So, tama nga, meron mga ibang tao, na ito, yaman ako, yaman ako. Pero sa loob, oh my God, am I really deserving of this? Or, and it's on screen. Okay, are you back, Noel? Sorry,
Yes,
I think it's my
I'm here.
internet that's going.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I've heard everything that you said.
Okay, great. That's good. At least ayun. It's simple, but then it takes a lot of mindfulness to really practice it. And another thing that I also learned when it comes to the law of attraction, kasi 'di ba marami na you create your vision board. So lagay ka lang visual, visual. But if your strongest sense is auditory, you have to combine sounds or words into your app. Yung sa it's not just enough that you're seeing the visuals of your vision board. You have to say things as well that okay, by this year ganito I will be having a home, ganito yung itsura, ganito yung itsura. You have to combine. So ganun din, it's also awareness because if you simply follow what the others are saying now, okay, vision board lang, okay na. But then you're really auditory, that's a different case. It won't work that much. So you also have to be very self-aware. The principles are there, the framework is there, but you have to discern how will it work to you because we're all unique individuals. So discernment also comes into it. Diba?
Perfect. Yeah. So I think I just want to tie that up to my book as well because perfect yung sinabi mo. In fact, self-awareness is something that I've also talked about in the book when it comes to barriers or what are like the challenges why people would not really invest in relationship building. And that's the number one reason we're not self-aware. We don't really know who we are, so we just go with the tide. So I think that's also kind of aligned with what you're talking about, mindfulness and spirituality and all of those stuff.
Oo. And other than your book, kasi that's the most recent project that you launched. But as of now, you're also extending your mentorship to solopreneurs, to
Yeah.
SME business owners, 'di ba? So tell me more about that kasi parang medyo simultaneous siya eh. It happened also
Mm-hmm.
during the pandemic. And what's beautiful about it is that when most people feel hopeless during this time, you are able to take action and do something of your skills, talents, or mastery. And let's talk about this. The plan to
Sure.
extend your mentorship to this
Yeah.
group of people.
Yes. So again, I had some experience mentoring immigrants because as an immigrant itself, I mean, as an immigrant myself, I was able to navigate the Canadian workforce and I was able to go back to the profession that I really want. Because normally in Canada, sometimes, like, sasabihin ng tao, if you're just new in the country, kahit anong trabaho na lang. Pero again, if you couple that with your mindset, with, manifestation and just being true to who you are and where do you want to go in terms of career, bibigay talaga ng Diyos, ng universe, or whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt during the pandemic as well, na lahat ng tao, no, I'm seeing that there are a lot of people doing business who were challenged when it comes to how to continue the business because of the pandemic and walang customers. So I thought that instead of just looking at mentoring immigrants, I have a bigger role now to share what I learned to solopreneurs, to professional service providers like doctors, like lawyers. So they thought initially that probably they are not selling, but actually they are in the business of selling, but they're not aware of that. And the third would be the small medium business owners. So unfortunately, there are some people who belong to these segments who have not or doesn't have a sales and marketing background in the corporate world. So I was thinking that probably with all the experience I have, I can take that all and share that with them. And that's the reason why I came up as well with an intensive program so that I make it easy for them. So when we talk about sales and marketing, it's a very wide space, but I thought as well that I just want to concentrate with relationship building using the tool called relationship building so that you can sustain your sales and you can also create impactful programs using it.
Mm-mm. Actually, ano, I now this reminds me of your description of what relationship building is in your book. You've mentioned
Yeah.
that you have to show your vulnerability. You have to be truly self-aware so that at least, diba, malaman mo what's illusion, what's real. Because there
Right.
are a lot of conditionings and programmings within us that we have to break. And
Mm-hmm.
becoming very self-aware allows us to see that. And you also mentioned about being consistent in terms of time and authenticity. So
Yes.
in a nutshell, that's what relationship building is. And if you
Yes.
look at the transformation that happened with Noel's story na dati insecure talaga, but then biglang naging very sure, this is to serve, this is noble. That is mindfulness at work, because mindfulness would allow you to shift, to have that transformation. When you're in doubt, then now you are certain with not just with yourself, but with also the things that you're doing, with all your activity. And that's the beauty of it. And now Noel is going to share his expertise, his stories, even the techniques and the tips that he gained all throughout that 15 years of
Yeah.
experience. He's going to share it in a program. And I've only set 40 minutes for this talk. So if you
Yeah.
want to get to know Noel more, if you want to learn about the secrets of relationship building, and even just to share Noel's energy, go to his Facebook group. You're creating a group right now. You're part of that group
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I understand pag corporate, it's so easy to
Yeah.
represent the corporation, the company, because it's a big name. But if we're selling for ourselves, parang nandyan, sino ba ako? So parang meron kang hiya
Right.
eh. But the shift is important. The transformation is important. Yun, Noel, sige. I'll give you the floor.
Yes.
Go.
So Shell, definitely I agree with you, especially both of us had been into the corporate world. We're not, bashing or we're not saying negative about the corporate world because that's where we came from, and that's where we learned as well the tricks of the trade. But there will come a point, I think, in our lives, no, that you wanna build your personal branding as well, and I think that's where knowing thyself and how to build relationship with thy neighbor is very important. So the intensive program that I have, actually it's an 8 weeks program. I will not, you know, give you tools right away on how you can really increase the sales, but I will I will encourage all of us first to like go down to who we really are, because if we don't know ourselves, we will never be able to know other people as well. And that's where authenticity, vulnerability will come in, and it will not be an easy kind of exercise because again, this is something that we should be honest, and this is a very sensitive case because it's a relationship within ourselves, and sometimes we get to be a little bit sensitive with that. So that's an 8 weeks program, but aside from that, I'm creating as well an exclusive Facebook group, again, for solopreneurs, professional service providers, and SMEs, and I call this relationship building freedom pathfinders. So these are the people who are seekers on how to increase sustainable sales growth and how they can create impactful marketing programs using relationship building. So it's a
Mm,
pathfinder. We're trying to find a path. And our guidance or our flashlight or our compass is relationship building.
Later, let's share link of the and sections.
Sure. Yeah, I will provide a link in the comment section of this recorded webinar, as well as the link for the book.
Nabasa ko siya, and sabi ko, wow, ang ganda. And I was able to understand Noel more. That's why I was like, I want to invite him. He has so many things to share, and our commonality was is the mindfulness, the self-awareness, and then everything transformation. So we are where we are because this is where we need to be. But the important thing is that we need to be promoted in terms of personal growth and professional growth as well. So let me just take a look at the comments before
sure
else,
yes. I'm excited to hear the comments if there's any.
Actually, meron naman. So, hi to Nelly, to Kuya Joel, to Dolly, to Miss Josie. Ayun. Sila lang kasi nag-comment, so hindi ko na alam kung sino yung mga ibang viewers. But Nelly, she mentioned people's energies or feelings is that madalas napapagod ka, maging anxious ka kasi nakukuha mo yung mga thoughts nila, yung vibrations nila. So it's also important to shield. So she was agreeing on you.
Cutting the cords.
In terms of protecting the self. So it's a practice that you can do at any time. So visualization will just be you have to be confident that it is done. You need to have faith of your spiritual authority and your and of course faith in God na rin, that when you ask, you know that it is given. Ayun. So far yun lang naman yung mga comments.
Perfect. Yeah.
Ayun. So, pero later we will Teka. What's important with all these stories is that it's important for us to be very self-aware, to know ourselves first and foremost. And when we are aware of who we are, then it has an effect on how we relate to the people around us and to our communities and even to certain situations around us. And what's good about Noel is that because of his self-awareness, he was able to attain self-mastery, lalo na sa sales and marketing, and that he was able to come up with relationship building as the primary tool for you to evolve and to grow, not just personally but also professionally and even your businesses and what he has learned. And alam mo yun, because he's already doing that, makikita way before when relationships that best transformation that he's talagang binibigay na sa mga tao who are resonating with his message, because it's you will always find your group, your tribe, your niche.
Yes.
Diba? Parang if the student is ready, the master will appear. When the master, and at the same time, when the master is ready, your students will appear as well.
Exactly. It's just the law of attraction.
Yes, it's the law of attraction working at its best. So be mindful of your thoughts, be mindful of the words you speak, and be mindful of your emotions. Because if you maintain that high level of frequency, you can actually manifest. And it all
Correct.
starts with self-awareness, knowing who you are. And this is really the I love our conversation today,
Yeah,
Noel.
I love it as well, Shell, and I want to commend you as well for being courageous to have this program, because I think this is like now is the time actually where all of us as a collective or people can actually mix our soul and our passion. Because when I was growing up, like I was a little bit shy in showing, you know, people my spirituality practice or spiritual practice. But I think now people would love to see authenticity, right? So if you have your own practice, I think the universe or the collective, or you know, people all over the world now are ready to share best practices. Because at the end of the day, I think what we just want is to be the best version of ourselves,
Yes.
and we can just get anything to be to have that goal. But
Mm-mm.
I really commend you, Shell, for, you know, for holding the light, especially I think at this time where it's, you know, unpredictable. But so I thank you, and I'm grateful for your
Mhm.
service as well, and the things that you're doing.
Well, thank you as well. It has been a major shift for me, as in super major shift then. And my friends are witness to that. But we are ending our
Oh
talk
yes.
right now. And before I end, I'd like to invite the viewers right now and those who are going to watch the replay to invite your friends if this kind of conversations resonates with you. And knowing Noel and hearing what he has to say right now, if you have some issues in terms of building relationships or relating to different people, join his group. You'll get so much value out of it. So without, sige, kasi ayoko na masyado mag-extend.
Sure.
Baka
Yeah.
na yung
No
energy
worries.
natin dalawa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
watching. Yes, thank you, Noel. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your time and sharing all these wonderful insights. I will talk again, all right?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Shell, and thank you for all the viewers.
All right. So, God bless everyone. Have a great day. And Noel,
Yeah.
have a great evening, all right? Thank you
Thank you,
once
Shell.
again.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a great week. Bye.